some kind of hit my lower area right here. I'm hitting myself on that, putting that on my legs, and doing leg lifts. It's the only way I know how to put weight on my feet. That's like it's like a reverse sit-up.
Right.
But that's the best I can come up with.
You say you bands. Reverse hyper. Let me see.
It works, but I'm getting heavier, and it's like it's really hard to balance on my ankles. I tried chain, and it just put too much pressure on the legs and forced them together.
Oh, how are you doing? Are you keeping your legs apart, going up with your knees?
Essentially, I'm doing this. I'm curling my foot up and holding the bar right there, and then just driving my knees up. It's big time on my hip flexors too.
Actually, I know something we could. Let me see.
And I don't want my legs together because that takes the hip flexors.
I know. I'm thinking. Not big enough. I don't have an ankle.
This is not. I don't even know anyone that does this. I know there's other ways to do what I'm trying to do. This is what I have here. So I was doing squats last week, and I only did 3 reps on my top set. And I've never not slept before, and that was 2 days in a row where I didn't sleep, and I've never had a workout where I didn't know what that felt like, and I know now. That's like the worst feeling in the world. It just gassed after the top set. I was like, what is going on? But today was good. I did 6.
It was weird today. I went to the gym. I got there late. I didn't really get there late. I got there like a few minutes after 10. And we usually start at 10. And Derek had to leave early, so they were already in the midst of their second set.
Gotcha.
So I just warmed up my shoulders and got right under there to 335, 5, blasted it up. He's like, you son of a bitch. Anyway, he gassed out 365. He almost got 5. I killed 5. 405, he got 2 maybe. I killed 5.
This is on bench. Jesus.
425, I got 3 and helped out with 2.
Nice.
So we're getting there.
A lot of people don't like the whole helping out thing, but it's getting used to that weight on you.
Yeah,
like if you can get more reps, why not? It's the same thing as when you do assisted lifting for yourself, like partial deadlifts and stuff like that.
I was wondering, is it fit on this? Go boy. Actually,
and my chins are going down because I'm getting heavier.
not surprised that happened. So, there was a, the old time fitness magazine was really more about really fitness and guys just going out. This is like from Iron Mind, which are not the bodybuilders, it's more the Scottish games, strongman, powerlifting.
Strength life versus like doing it as
Anyway, one of the guys used to talk about, he used to, I think it was canoe, he would go up to bridges, tuck his toes into his canoe, he'd grab a hold of the bridges, and he would do chins, but then he'd also do what you're doing. So in a way, he sort of condoned it as every time, because the way it worked is he could sort of stand up in his canoe and grab a hold of the top of the bridge, those low bridges, and those were the exercises. He would do chin-ups and he would do knee raises with the canoe. Sort of the same premise. He goes, and it did an incredible job on his feet, on his flexors, because it's sort of just like when you talk about doing these kind of flexors for your hands. The opposite, same thing for that.
That's true. I didn't think about that. I just like this because I'm getting really. I don't remember when I have to use a belt, and I'm really working on that in my grip before I go up and weight further. I want to just be me.
Right.
Because I can push so hard now on like the bottom, it just becomes a rock.
Well, it's like with Louis. Is it Louis Simmons? And Coon. Ed Coan, probably the greatest powerlifter of all time.
Yeah,
I mean,
I've watched and read a lot about him.
Anyway, he talks about Yuri, whatever from Russia. He said, I saw Yuri do 947 on the squat with no belt. He just walked underneath there and did 947. And the weird is he put his belt on when he did a bench press, but when he was doing the squats,
I don't. It's really weird. The bench is the only one I don't like forcing my hair down. I feel like it takes me out of place. I like to keep it in my chest.
Yeah, well, it's a different sort. You do want your chest bloated up because you actually want the distance.
On anything else, though, I love
just feeling it going deep.
I mean, this was so weak when I started.
Well, and people don't, and see, they don't. The guys that I work out with, a lot of them don't understand where I talk about twist that hair down and suck in your asshole. I said, that's it.
You want your belly button and your asshole trying to touch each other.
And they just don't get it. They're like, I'm like, your asshole, you need to pump your buddy.
Yes, there's some people that are just strong to be strong and they don't have to think about stuff like that. But I mean, I felt it that like fifth week I was deadlifting, my back was like, what is going on? And that's because I didn't know how to tighten everything up. Mm-hmm. Ooh man, my grip on freaking. I'm surprised it doesn't get tired on chins. Everyone talks about chins, their grip giving out. This deadlift's for me. And I think you said it was my thumb a long time ago, but I'm really thinking I grab it like this, and there's just not enough of my thumb underneath it. I've been trying to hook grips, but it's so painful.
It hurts like hell. And what about the reverse?
Oh, I can do mixed grip all day, if that's what you're talking about, but I don't. I have. Oh, you mean just dead holds? I can't do.
No, I meant what I'm talking about.
Mixed grip, yeah. I can do. That's how I have to do my top sets.
Well, everybody does.
Well,
unless they do.
I've seen some big ass boys do double overhand on like 800 something.
Double overhand, but they're still hooking their thumb, I bet.
Maybe. I just want that. I don't know.
It's tough. I mean, think about your hand. Think about it. You got 4 against 1.
And it rolls against them, and my left hand always gets out because it's the weaker hand.
The only time actually, sometimes I have an issue because I broke this bone here, so this side of my hand is weak. Yeah. So sometimes it actually gives out. I think I got some arthritis going.
I don't know, man. I've always had good grip for my size and stuff, and I've never had arthritis. And I think like grip training has always helped that. So I've always done push-ups with my fists closed.
That's true. You did all that.
Because my hands have never given me any. And I've been on a computer my whole life now. And I did a session today with no music and I actually like it more.
Oh, well,
it reminds me a lot of Taekwondo.
That was different. Actually, need more over here.
I'm gonna, huh?
I got them over here if you want to stand.
I'm gonna go set up GMOS thinking for a stretch. I'm ready to, I'm doing a cut for like 3 pounds maybe, nothing. And then I'm ready for an advanced program. All my numbers are advanced now.
Oh, on here.
I was waiting.
Okay, make a deal with it. You need to.
I'm thinking about 531.
531. I've been really interested in doing some one, and I think I've got it downloaded.
I like the fact that you're stepping back. You're not looking at gains every week. You're looking at gains every month.
Right.
But you're programming for them. You're not just like.
Right. You're working late.
The whole time I've been doing this, I've been doing reverse pyramid training, and I just go until I'm gassed.
The only time I ever worry about anywhere it's too structured, it's just not how your body goes.
Yeah.
Because you'll be working out, you'll be hitting everything you're supposed to, and then you'll be pissed sometimes because you leave the gym knowing you got so much more left.
Why does everyone everything I read says always you can train always lead to 1 to 2 in the tank? And well, in my top set, I've never done that.
I know. I mean, nobody does. Everybody says that, but it's so that you can, and it's more of a mindset, continuous gains. Mm-hmm. Because you think about it, if you really push yourself. See, now Louis Simmons doesn't believe that. Louis Simmons says you should fail. Okay. If you don't push yourself, then if you don't fail some of the time, you're not really pushing your max. But now it depends on what you're going for. Louis Simmons is probably the biggest trainer of the best powerlifters in the world, and he goes, "How can you never fail? How do you know what you really can do?" Because when he does PR day, he wants you to push to exceed what your limit is. But what I'm saying is, when you're lifting, there are days like today. I didn't actually feel that good, but I was strong today.
It just clicked.
Right now, so I've probably left something in the tank. And what'll happen is you'll be on some sort of program, and there'll be those days you leave in the tank, and maybe the day that you're programmed to go to your max is a down day.
Yeah, I'm learning that because I haven't really followed a program, more just like.
I think a program's great, and you go with it, and then eventually what you're going to learn to do is you learn your body
every day. That's when you're good enough, when you can just be like, yeah, I know I can push this today.
Right. Well, and you walk into a gym and you know your body. And it's really tough to do that when see it happens. That's one of the things that sort of, in a way, having a group of guys helps and then hurts. They motivate me. I can do negatives. I can do some other things that you normally can't do. But I'm also limited to what they're doing, because there are days when I'm like, the rest of them, like today, they were all for shit. And I was like, man, I could stay here and just keep, So it's a tough one to call, that one. But anyway, what I want to do is I need to figure out something that I would like. I need to lose weight.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I can go to the one meal a day.
You can skip breakfast though. Everybody can.
I never eat breakfast. That's
the easiest thing to do. And
actually, I was looking. There's an article on carb loading, fat loading, and that seemed to really interest me. Because it's basically sort of a lot what you say. It's more of a one meal a day, but mainly it's nothing for breakfast.
Yeah, I know.
Protein for lunch.
I wish I could sit down and just. I know about it. I've done all, and I've experimented. I know exactly.
Okay, well that's what I'm saying. You're talking about you work. What I was gonna say, come up with something, a program for me to lose some weight. I need to drop some pounds.
But like when other people talk to you about this, like your gym mates and all that, don't listen about.
Oh, I don't listen. Okay, let's put this way. There's nobody in the gym that has read as much as I do. So I mean, I don't. There's people I trust. The only people I trust are like Woody, or who you don't know, but he's an MMA trainer. Mm-hmm. And he really hardly ever talks diet. He more talks exercise. Now, there's guys I will listen to on exercise technique, mainly because they're bodybuilding. And every time I think sometimes the powerlifters can't be too snobby and realize that most of your great powerlifters, really great powerlifters, bodybuild at some time. And actually, probably the better program is sort of a mix.
Both help each other. Yeah, it's called power building, and it's. But don't like the whole. Everyone told me about genes and all that. I can't lose weight because I have bad genes. Blah blah blah. There's literally like 0.1% of the population that have shitty genes, and they are sick as hell anyway. Those are the people with bad genes.
But now there is something that I do need to go, and once it gets to be the 15th, I need to check for allergies, food allergies.
Yeah, that unfortunately is just because of food becoming
so
super processed, and we don't have. That's just so crazy that people are just completely dumbfounded when I tell them that I fast and all that. We didn't eat breakfast until England was wealthy enough to have breakfast in the morning. You worked, then you came home and ate.
Right.
Until the sun came down, then you came home and ate. That's what you did.
And that's sort of what carb loading. The guy swear, and he did this. It was a great article. I should give it to you, but because it's going to probably do word for word. Well, I doubt it though, because it's it. Well, they got published on the web. Yeah.
Our body.
Well, this guy did sort of the same thing. He got into it, and he's like, reading different people's things. He's like, man, it's just there's a lot of bullshit there. So he sort of read everything, even went and in college took nutrition, but then even on the outside, he said he actually learned a lot more outside of his college. And what he's found, and he goes, I don't care. He sort of says the same thing. People say I'm a hard gainer, bullshit. Bullshit. You just gotta learn how to eat. So what he says is, no breakfast. You eat. It's actually some fats and some protein, but it's like the
There's
right
nothing bad about fat. You gotta get that out of your
right.
life. I was taught that my
whole
life.
And then the weird stuff is he talks about carb loading at the end of the night. And he's like, you can go crazy with the carbs. Even some of the bad carbs versus bad carbs and bad fats.
Right. And as soon as your liver is completed, aka sugar, sugar goes nowhere. It doesn't go to muscles. It doesn't go anywhere. It goes to the liver. Right. And as soon as the liver is fully saturated with glycogen, you're anabolic. You are ready to put on muscle. Right. You're ready for your hormones to be balanced. People, like when they do these crazy diets, they take out all this fat. Fat is testosterone. Mm-hmm. Fat is all your hormones. And if you're a man and you don't have testosterone going, you're not going to be able to lose weight. Of someone with amazing genetics is hard to put on fat because he has such good hormone levels. Right. Our bodies want to hold fat.
But that's why you see a guy like a black guy come in, his diet will be McDonald's, yep. But he's like
jacked. Yeah.
Because he turns those horrible carbs into.
They're not even bad though. Like no. I eat around 450 grams of carbs, which is a lot. Yeah. Every single workout day. Now you won't be able to do that right away.
No, and actually I want to lose weight, so that's why. Well, I'll tell you what. Are you still? How much you got left to do?
I'm done.
Okay. I was gonna hand you the magazine, read it, but anyway, and then sort of come up with some sort of recommendation for me.
I'm pretty sure I've already read this because you don't understand. I did about 6 months of reading before I decided to do my thing. But I would like.
He's got two things. One is backloading. And then he's got one for when you really want to accelerate weight loss, and then
that's PSMF. You don't want to. That's probably the whole protein and fat only with very high volume.
Well, yeah, he's got like the one cheat day where you basically almost go cut way back, and then you have like one splurge day, but you go it's almost low carb for the whole week, and then you really kill it on the weekend.
Yeah, it's called PSMF, and it's
PSMS.
PSMF. Essentially, you are completely depleting your glycogen from your muscles and your liver. You're eating nothing but very, very low calories. We're talking like 800, but all protein.
But see, I lose weight rapidly on that.
You would, yeah. Not only that, but your thing is
because it's not so much the meat. I mean, where I see my body weight really fluctuate is carbs.
Because they're so it's all okay.
And it's so my body doesn't digest carbs well.
I promise this is 100% true what I'm going to say. This is, but there's a trick to it. Everybody says that calories is what matters, and that's 100% true. For weight, your body weight, right? Calories are all that matters. What kind of weight you put on or take off is completely based on your macros, your protein, your carbs, etc. So, if you were to do a little.
So I could stay the same weight, but by changing my macros, I could change protein for fat.
And there's something called recomping, which is a very slow process, but essentially you can stay the exact same weight and lose fat and put on. Now that's supposed to be impossible to take off fat and put on weight, but at a 0% gain or
because you're actually not putting on weight,
you're going to change constantly.
Even though you theoretically would still probably gain weight because muscle's heavier than fat.
Because you're assuming that you would put on just as much muscle as you would lose fat. They're very different.
So you'd actually probably lose, because muscle's got to be a lot harder.
More fat and you gain very much
because it's extremely difficult to even put on 10 pounds of muscle.
Oh, especially for someone that's been lifting as long as you.
Right.
You're more along the lines of wanting to stay. Yeah, that's true too.
Now, I figure, doing the measurements, I get down to 250.
Oh,
I'd be like, because I'm at least 220. I'm 225 to 230 pounds, like to the bone, skinny, because I got that much packed on.
You need that fat anyway.
Right.
Unless
if I got that, I'd be like, So 250, I think I'd be walking around scared.
So you eating fat has nothing to do with you putting on fat. It's all about what you're taking in and what you're taking out. And now there's a thing called insulin sensitivity, which you probably have an issue with because why do you think that is?
The intake?
Not only the intake,
the timing of the intake.
But there's constantly being food eaten in the morning, snacking, stuff like that.
Because when I snack, it's all carbs.
Shoots out. Well, that's called spiking, and that's bad too. when you're doing it all day, every day.
Right.
Essentially, what happens is
which you've always been told the opposite, that it's good to keep the metabolism always burning.
There's no fucking such thing as firing up the metabolism. In fact, you're doing the opposite. What happens is when a diabetic eats food, and all of a sudden their sugar spikes up. Why did that happen? Why did their insulin shoot up?
Because they introduced carbs to the system, which makes your liver has to create insulin because
you've heard of GI. You told me.
Well, yeah, glycemic index.
So the lower that is, like sugar.
Right.
That's how much insulin.
Actually, sugar is hot. Rice, simple carbs.
Yeah.
Simple carbs have a high GI.
How quickly it's burned.
Okay.
The reason why for that is because the insulin that your body reacts to. It wants to use that as energy because that's the type of energy it is. Well, that's how you store it. So essentially, those spikes are good, but not all the time. So what happens is your body is so getting pumped with insulin all the time, it doesn't give a shit anymore. It's like, well, there's food there, whatever. But when you take out that breakfast and you do not snack, and you drink a lot of water in the morning, you're gonna have to piss like every hour. It's annoying. Right. But you're gonna have to get used to that. And drink water.
I can do that. I got my big jug right next to me, and I got my ice and water right next to me. That's actually what I do. I suck down about 8 of those glasses a day.
Now, if you could do fasted training, you will never see a better response from carbs than, like, when I go home right now, I'm about to just stuff my face, and I get a high, like, every time I do this. It's wonderful. But it's because I've been waiting throughout the day and then I train. And it's not for, some people just can't do it.
Well, see, actually, I do well with that because I typically go in on Saturday morning.
No, not eating.
Having not eaten since Friday.
Not a calorie. Well, not like a piece of gum or something. Well, that's awesome.
I do drink an energy drink while I'm working out, which does have some sugar.
But you have BCAA.
But sometimes I go in with water.
You do have, now what you want to do is you want to take.
I want to take the Side-Ration Extend.
10 grams of amino acids.
Which has got all the BC. You've used Extend before.
That's all I do.
Right.
I've never not used it.
And see, I actually used to drink that, just put it in the water and carry it around with me.
So with that, like, say if it's, each serving is 7.5 grams of amino acids. So if it's like 10 grams, you want 15 grams. Does that make sense? If the serving. So you want to do that, you want to do training fasted, but you need to figure out, and I can do this for you. How much do you weigh right now?
318.
318.
320.
And you're 53?
52. It's gonna be 53 in June.
So I'll factor all that in, and so I'm gonna guess that your maintenance is probably around 2350, 2450. That's to stay it that way. Right. Now, you can do this if you want to, but this is something, and it worked for me 100% on rest days. I would go like -20, -30% of that maintenance. Right. And even though I'm losing weight and cutting, not recomping, cutting, I would do like 10% or 20% extra maintenance on workout days. Right. And the reason for that is because it's all about total calories. So on those rest days where you're just like, whatever, you're not gonna eat very many carbs. You're gonna keep it down to like 50 or lower. Right. That's where it can be tough. That's where I gotta figure out my food choices. Yeah. And there's tricks. Like lavash bread is a type of bread. I don't even know if you'd eat. Your thing is, I don't know how often you cook. It's hard to eat. I know, I'm gonna have to start. Grilled KFC is the shit for fat and protein. Oh, it's a good mix. Amazing. There's like 2 carbs in it, just from seasoning. Otherwise, it's like a chicken breast is like 60 grams of protein. It's amazing. Right. It really is. I eat an 8-piece like every time. I just can't come up with time to make something. I'll just go get KFC. And other than that, yeah, bread's hard to stay away with. Now, the lower your body fat percentage gets, the less fucks you have to give, essentially. Right. And if we can get you to that like 16%, life is grand. You can one day eat I've eaten 6,000 calories on the holidays. That's what this guy said. He goes, once you get your body cycled right, you can freaking eat pizza on workout days. Exactly. You can eat all the shit that you don't think you can eat. It doesn't matter. People are all fucked up with, and that's sort of what same thing he says. Everybody's caught up with what it is, but if you get your body cycling right, using right, and he came up with the same exact thing that you sort of been talking about. So. Breakfast was pushed on us because that's where companies make their money.